Jordan trying to shake off Starks. Oh, what a move!
Oh! LeBron James with no regard for human life.
Final seconds. Bryant for the win.
Iverson against Gill, the crowd on its feet. Allen for the win.
Welcome to the Sneaker History Podcast.
Greetings, Earthlings. Welcome to another episode of the Intergalactic Sneaker History Podcast. I am the yin. Mike is my yang. He is the Nike. I am the trifoil. He is the swoosh. I am the trifoil. How you doing, my man?
I'm good, man. That was a fantastic intro. I feel good now that aliens listen to us.
Of it. Maybe I'm describing the plot of Tim Allen's Galaxy Quest. Maybe I'm not.
Great movie.
Thanks for being here, though. If you're, it's a fantastic movie. If you're a new listener, make sure you subscribe, leave a review. Whatever you can do to interact with this episode is much, much appreciated. And we're going to start this episode off with one of our mainstays in the Sneaker History Podcast, the Rockin' and Coppin'. Mike, why don't you show the people what you have rocking first, because it's kind of out of this world. That's what made me think, your shoes got me thinking.
Yeah, dude. So I'll be rocking the Cold Wall and Converse collaboration on the Sponge CX Crater Slip, which is their take or their jump into the foray of the foam sneaker craze out here. So for all you Croc or Yeezy foam runner lovers, this may be right up your alley. I like this one a bit more because it does include a knitted booty. It gives you a little bit more structure, a little bit more wearability, along with, of course, Converse's CX foam, which is a polyurethane insole. So it gives you more comfort than I think a lot of those other foam shoes. And I mean, like Robbie said, it's really out of this world. Looks like it straight up came from the moon, man. Super dope.
I like a nice booty too. Oh no, wait, you said knit booty, right? Oh, my bad.
Oops.
Oops, I did it again. Very, very cool shoe though. That CX foam is extremely comfortable. If you haven't tried it yet, many of Converse's models feature that. Just keep an eye open when you're ordering. So comfortable.
For sure, man. For sure. Shoot. So I guess what I'm copping is next, and what I'll go with is actually one from the Reebok family who sent this over today. So thank you to the team. And this is actually going to be a question releasing on the 22nd. So probably by the time you hear it, they're already out. But this one is actually paying homage to Dr. J, which you can see that nice number 6 on the back of the sneaker, replacing the normal 3. And I mean, if you're wondering, you don't have to wonder anymore. The leather is fantastic, better than anything you're getting on those more expensive shoes out there. So keep an eye on this. I think they're 150, 160, but my goodness, look at that. Oh my, it's like I'm doing a review already. Very, very clean shoe.
I would even say more expensive just compared to other shoes in general.
True.
Those look buttery, man. That's such a gorgeous. The second I saw those, something about the red only being on the back and the white toe cap is just extremely, extremely clean. And did you say who they pay homage to?
Yeah, the good old Dr. J, a.k.a. Julius Erving. Not something they can really tell the story with on their marketing because Dr. J is with Converse. But I can tell you the story because that's what I'm here for. That's what we're here for, sneaker history. So it is basically an homage to a Philly legend because you all know, with the Philly connection between AI and Dr. J, it just makes sense, right? So I think it's done very well.
It does.
Very, very, very nice shoe.
The Sixer fraternity, if you will. And I'll actually take your question and I'll use that as my rockin' because based off of some things, we're talking about this whole episode is really a mix between Allen Iverson and Kobe Bryant. So I thought about that when I went shopping a little bit earlier and I rocked these beauties. And I mean, the Kobe question for the same reasons as the Julius Erving really can't tell that story the same way. But, Kobe wore these during sneaker free agency. The yellow toe cap, it's gorgeous. I put a little scuff on it already, but
hey,
that's
a little love on it. It's okay.
But as you were, a little love, man, a little dirt. Just such a gorgeous shoe. The leather, got stuck to my mic. The leather is also buttery. This great quality with these questions, man. Not all of them are the most fascinating quality. I won't even say bad because I really haven't had a bad question in terms of materials. But, sometimes, they use this like toe box material around the mud guard, and I'm not so much a fan of that. I like more leather construction with either a leather, suede, or pearlized toe. But God, looks good. Looks so good.
Fantastic shoe, right?
And actually, my rocking is actually not something you probably think, but as my shirt would entail, I think they bought these weird ass Adidas like Greco-Roman sandal slides. So I ride my bike to the pool almost every weekday, and I have these Nike ones I use all the time, and they're great, but I don't care because I'm just going to work out. I wear them with like all different kinds of branded shorts and t-shirts because I just need to get my clothes off, get in the pool, get out, and not wear socks there, really. So I was looking for something similar with a little more support than like what I'm wearing right now, which is like my house shoe. Riding a bike in these, you get too, flips around too much, flops around. So I wanted something a little bit with more protection. So I got these. We'll see how they go. I literally just got them like an hour ago. They're fun. They're fun.
I want the Pharrell pair he had.
Nothing that cool.
A while back. The same concept, but his had like some of the like the thicker like leather straps around the ankle and the toe, and it, of course the boost in it, and it had all the multicolor. So if I could find a pair of those for a good price, like sub $100, I think I might snag them because you never can have a bad time to grab a sandal. I mean, you never know when you need it.
No, and what's funny about that is I have the white Stussy ones worn, but I have a green and a black pair of Stussy slides by Nike, just like on ice. I have some of these like slides, but these will get a lot of wear. These will get messed up and destroyed.
Function
by the end of summer, probably. I'm excited for.
Nice.
And when it comes to cop and else, so that's just one thing. It's not really sneakerhead related, right? Your grandma would probably wear those. What I'm really interested in is another Allen Iverson. Let's just keep it all Reebok. It's the 1997 classic. Yin and Yang kind of is like the theme of this episode. If you're wearing a Nike swoosh and I'm wearing a trifoil Adidas logo, but my brain's starting to spin that way because the Answer in 1997 is celebrating its 25th anniversary with the original OG white, red, and gold colorway dropping. Yeah. And it's the yang to the question. Answers and questions are kind of yin and yang by nature. But, Reebok's whole thing was releasing, the answer line and the question line, both for Allen Iverson. And what is really important about that and special is the fact that it took Michael Jordan, I think, 1 year after that to start releasing his Team Jordan stuff. I believe 98 was the first time there was Team Jordans, because it was it might have been 97 because it's based off around. My historians are going to be like, this guy doesn't know anything about shoes.
But
I didn't research this again. I was just right off the top of my head. It's 97 or 98 for Team Jordan, but starting having two shoes. But Allen Iverson and Reebok started that right away. And it wasn't even like a high and a low top offering. It's like a question and an answer. Two completely different, makeups, two completely different looks, styles. Is really ahead of its time, and none of us really think of that when it comes to Allen Iverson's line. You think of how good it is, but really it pioneered a two-shoe model, like from the jump.
Yeah. I mean, he really is, like you said, set the groundwork. Because now you look at like LeBron with his, main line. You have Soldiers, Kyrie's Fly Traps, so on and so forth. I mean, you gotta give AI a lot of credit for a lot of things he's done that people don't realize he was kind of like the groundwork or the blueprint for.
Yeah, but the OG Answer 1, 97 to now. Again, this 25 years. It's a very topical shoe. Big, clunky, chunky, exaggerated. A lot of things about this are just things that work, right? Because I think nowadays, everybody loves the resale market, but I think a lot of consumers want something that they genuinely just like. That's why we see so many right, the Fila disruptors, or saw so many Fila disruptors, you know, and see these shoes that aren't Nike Dunks is what I'm ultimately getting to the root
more
to.
Panda Dunks.
And I think the answer is no, but just like the answer is something I could see somebody shopping at American Apparel from like age, 15 to 22, who just doesn't want to have a swoosh on and likes Reebok, and maybe they see a cute, throwback looking Reebok hat, or something to go with. I can just see this working on levels in 2022. So
she's perfect.
Very excited to see those come. I believe the date was June 29th for release.
July 29th. Yeah, so they're coming out July 29th.
Duh. June already happened. I knew that.
Yeah, a time machine. It's okay. Man, I'm just really chomping at the bit for these. That's one I can say one Iverson I've never had, and I really, really want it.
Mm-hmm.
And so I'm really just kind of, as soon as I get my hands on it, they're going to be the shoe for the rest of the summer. I guarantee you that much.
Can we be honest? I never liked them until probably about 2 or 3 years ago. I didn't really have an appreciation for them. And once I did appreciate them, I think the black colorway was the one that was available at that time, maybe 4 years ago now. Yeah. I didn't like that. I don't like black sneakers and basketball shoes the same way like a clean pair of white and reds look.
I'm with you.
They're not bad, but this white, especially on a basketball court, because it stands out on the hardwood, and when you would wear the Answers back in '97, you would be legitimately hooping in them. They weren't a retro. That's like your offering. So like pulling up in white leather on the basketball court outside looks so fresh. But nowadays in 2022, you're just going to wear these on the sidewalk with your kids or something, and it just looks better than black leather, right? Yeah.
Yeah. I'm
nothing at all wrong with it. It just looks a little summertime fresher.
Yeah, I'm right there with you, bud.
Now, again, the flip-flop, yin and yang nature of this episode. Let's go ahead and pivot to Allen's contemporary, his brother, his rival, a man that once said if Allen Iverson was like 6 inches taller, we'd all be in a lot of trouble. I forgot what the exact quote was, but Kobe was just if he was taller, like we would all be screwed. And that's what Allen Iverson really was. And that's what Kobe ended up being, right? This blessed with the right genetic makeup to be 6'6". And I think Kobe was 6'7". MJ is 6'6", if I remember correctly. But just the two being drafted the same year, Allen going first. I believe Kobe went 13th overall.
Yeah.
Charlotte Hornets. We all know the story part. But both athletes, Kobe a little slower than Allen, got signature shoes from their respective brands quickly. They quickly became the faces. And we bring this all up because this week, Adidas retroed very quietly on the Confirmed app an Adidas shoe. I'll let Mike go ahead and say more, but got us thinking a little bit.
Well, I am thoroughly confused. So I've seen so many different things going on with Adidas and Kobe models. So if you guys are a part of sneaker history, I know, Robbie, you know him, but Ian Stonebrook just did a piece on the Stormtrooper KB1 or Crazy One. But I just received information from some affiliate things I do in regards to the Crazy 97, which is supposed to be releasing on the 21st. Both of those shoes are supposed to be released on the 21st. There is no, I don't understand what they're supposed to be doing, but I'm just happy that these are going to be coming back out, because these old Adidas offerings from Kobe are something of classic, and I think really they can go down in sneaker lore, because that's when Froby was around, That's when he was really coming into his own, becoming that on-court predator out there, just cooking anybody who wanted it. And I just really hope they do the stories and the marketing that I think it deserves, because there was a lot behind it. I know there's probably some stipulations because they can't even call them the KBs anymore because of his Nike contract, which is, of course, now up and running again. But with no Nike Kobe's out in the foreseeable future, which I can see, this is a perfect time, I think, for Adidas to really come in and tell those old stories as much as possible, because I'm super excited for both of these models to release. I'm really trying for both. But at the same time, this Crazy 97 model the color they're bringing out is absolute dog crap. I love you, Adidas, but this was just not the way to go with the colors. I mean, I'm going to speak my truth. I don't want you guys to think I'm hating, but this silver, blue, orange, they call it the All-Star color. Did he wear that in the All-Star game? That color?
That is the kicker. So the All-Star was a Lakers colorway. It was black, purple, a little bit of yellow. Not that shoe. Well, got it flipped. More purple, black. So it's Lakers, purple, black.
Yeah, I know
yellow,
what you're talking about,
white. Though. But yeah, you're on the nail. It's like that meme, that monkey in the statue in the museum. It's just like like the furry internet talk. You know what I'm talking about. But it's just like, why? Because I mean, the EQT elevation is what it was initially called back in '97. Really more level playing field in terms of footwear, right? So everybody's coming with hits. Reebok just dropped, the question and the answer back in the back. Nike has Jordan doing his thing, Penny doing his thing at Nike, and then Adidas is able, even though it's not exactly a Kobe signature shoe, they're able to put this new model on an 18-year-old in the dunk contest and have it be iconic. How that's not the first colorway to drop, and any kind of, even the black and white one. There's a lot of ways you can go. I just don't think a new colorway is the way to start from the jump.
Yeah, I'm right there with you, and I know there's a lot of things, because I think something's telling me that Adidas is being very wary of just being, hey, maybe the shoe's not going to make it in time for us to get it to the public on this day, so maybe we don't want to, talk about it so much. I mean, there's that one story unconfirmed, like Robbie mentioned, but it's just so weird. I mean, and the reason I say this, because if you guys are LeBron, and T-Mac fans, if you were anything like me a few months back, you noticed that there was supposed to be the St. Vincent St. Mary pack that was supposed to drop all in one day. It never happened, but they started trickling into the Adidas website randomly. They didn't say anything about it. They just kind of put them in there. We're still missing the Pro model, supposed to be supposedly in there as well. But just really trying to – I don't want this to be the precedent of us having to be on the website just refreshing over and over, because I really don't have time for that. I mean, I know real fans out there want to get them. I guess – on the flip side, if no one knows, you can go get them without having to deal with the bots out there. But I just want to know. So
true,
I can,
very true.
I want to know if I'm going to spend money, I need to know when I'm going to do
it. To quote a rapper from Charlotte who did not keep Kobe Bryant, they traded for Vlade Divac, the baby. We needed some stuff with some bop in it, right? We needed something with we need a little bop in it, and it's like these 97s. As I will keep calling them, the EQT elevations, we need some bop in it. Like, it doesn't have that. There's going to be a lot of great colorways. This one isn't even bad. This one just feels more like akin to like a kid's colorway. Not particularly bad, not at all, but just not what I'm looking for. There's so much coming out, and we'll talk more about the homie Ian and check out his stuff he's doing over at Boardroom. It's insanely good. We'll talk more about the Kobe in a moment here, but there's going to be so many options and so many avenues for Adidas, to take when it comes to this Kobe stuff. None of it's going to be called Kobe stuff, but we all know what it is because, the TikTok era listeners, they don't remember how like just Kobe was on like Teen Bot magazines. Kobe, like there was no coverage like that. There's no social media, obviously, but Kobe came up and came into the league at a time where you had to play on the court to get noticed, right? There's no like, you're the 13th pick nowadays. You get some like little deals and stuff just from being a pick. Yeah. You can not even really pan out the first 2 years. You might get paid doing some other stuff. Kobe broke into the scene. He didn't like walk in. He broke the door down and was like, I'm here. I'm going to airball threes in the playoffs against Utah. I'm going to do some stuff. I'm going to make an ass of myself sometimes. but I'm gonna get better. And it's like he grew. This was all growing era Kobe.
Yeah.
Alluding to the Adidas stuff. Like this is, think about, listener, where you were when you were 18 to like 23, like 23, 20, 24 for Kobe. But like that's growing years. You're definitely a different man, woman, person than you were when you came into that era. So this is when Kobe was this becoming Kobe. You have his first real signature shoe come out in 97, 98. And this is one of two that I personally want to see above any other Kobe model. The EQT is great. It's my third or fourth favorite of, the quote unquote Kobe stuff.
Yeah.
But the KB8 or Crazy 8 from 97, 98, that's one of the joints, man. I'm really mad I didn't buy any of those retros, as they've done USC, they've done Dame, they've done Derrick Rose, they've done so many
Just had to for the sake of
colorways and versions. Yeah, right? Right? It's just, Nightmare Before Christmas, so many great looks, but just, Mike, tell people about that shoe you're holding there. That's one I think we need to get.
Yeah, so this is a Crazy 8. So this one was done. So funny story about it is that this was supposed to be a part of the 2012 Christmas. It actually came out in 2013, which is very weird. I don't know why. They did it basically 2 years in a row. Excuse me. But again, if you know the movie Nightmare Before Christmas, you have the Jack Skellington kind of shoelaces here. But this is just one of those classic models. I think this one's a little harder to wear nowadays because this is the epitome of chunky. But I think it's just such a cool nod to, hey, this is one of the shoes that Kobe wore. Like Robbie, I just got lucky at one of our awesome Discord members was clearing out his collection, clearing out his closet from old stuff, so he sent these my way because they're my size. But I wish I would have kept some of those retros because I had the black with the purple and yellow accents. I had the all blues. Only ones I never have the Derrick Roses, which today I wish I bought because they are very expensive on a resale market for some reason. But they even still, have Kobe's number on there because they were a KB8 at the time. But again, when he moved to Nike, they had to call it the Crazy 8. So it still has those little nods to Kobe. But we just gotta do it this way, I guess, now.
And I'll get it whatever way. So the black and white is really what I want.
Yeah.
Same way I really want is a black and white pair of Shaqnosi. But this,
flock of them.
The KB8 feet you wear. And what's interesting is the feet you wear technology that is used all throughout the late 90s with Adidas stopped, and it didn't keep going because Adidas got in disputes, manufacturing disputes with the company who was producing the midsoles, so they had to stop using them. Oh. And that actually brings me to the shoe you were just talking about a little bit earlier, the one Ian Stonebrook wrote a great article about, and that's the Kobe, right? I think the best Adidas Kobe shoe ever made, one of the ugliest shoes ever made, but I think it's one of the most important, awesome shoes ever made, right? You can be, you know how many rock stars aren't that pretty, but they're still rock stars?
But they're still talented.
That's my example. The Kobe, they're so talented. They have a mystique about them. They have a performance. They're great on stage. But, not everybody has a great face. And I think the Kobe is one of those, black sheep in footwear history. But, black sheep have gone on to do great things. And Kobe won 2 championships. He liked it so much, he kept that shoe on for 2 NBA finals. He won the 2000 and 2001 finals wearing the Kobe. And, just the memories from those playoff runs, him, the baggy Laker shorts, just the baggier era of clothing and uniform sense. Just so fucking tight. They're so cool, right? They're based off the Audi TT. Do you think they're as ugly as I think, but they're awesome at the same time? What are your thoughts?
I don't think they're ugly. Now, the Kobe 2, the one with the shroud over the top, that one's absolutely woof. But yeah. I'll still add it to the collection because, again, it has that value to it, a sentimental and that history to it. But the Kobe is one of those shoes I wish I would have bought when they were sitting on shelves at $40, $50. I remember the Sunshine pair came out. They had to be $20, 2015, 2014 when they're releasing those, and just didn't. Everyone was like, "Oh, they'll go down cheaper. They'll get cheaper," and I just never got around to buying it. And now I kick myself because I wanted them before that. Now I know this may be a bit of a challenge to get these. Hoping not, but I'm really looking forward to that shoe. That's, again, along with the Answer one, that would be if I can get that one just cleared away, I'm rocking these freaking basketball shoes all summer. I just hope they rest them on them where they're a bit more comfortable with either bounce or with some kind of boost insert would be nice.
Mm-hmm. It's so 2000. It's like, think about the design of like Game Boy Colors, right? It's such a 2000s thing, the Kobe. So you kind of brought up 2 points that I wanted to end the episode on. So the Kobe 2, from, I believe it came out in 2001 or 2002, that he won the 3rd championship wearing that shoe is what's most important of the three-peat. Is the USA colorway, if they were to release that, is that like ironic at this point? Because, I feel like a lot of us aren't feeling America the same way that we used to. And like that Kobe 2 mule is aggressively USA, the pair he gave to LeBron James.
It's an actual flag.
Would you wear that now in 2022, 23?
I wouldn't wear it, but for just the NBA connection to both him and LeBron, I just at least have to add it to the collection. I don't think I would ever put it on my foot. Just even like taking aside from the craziness that we live in, that's just an ugly shoe with an ugly design.
I would take them and I would wear the hell out of them. Those things would
biking in them and everything.
So much play. I would get weird looks. I would bike. I mean, I think those shoes would be really great for getting in and out of the pool. Like, you slide them in, slide them off. I'm not just playing. Like, you're right. They're aggressive. The Stormtrooper pair, the white, those are a little less crazy. But I'm not referring to the Kobe Stormtrooper. There's also a white. I think it's like a gray or silver toe cap.
There's a silver one. There's a white
too.
one. The USA one, and there's also a yellow one. I think there's 4 and a black one. So it's like 5 colors of that one.
But man, the USA, I think it's kind of just funny.
It is kind
of
funny.
At this point. It's so it's so American.
It's like, more comical at this point of anything.
You used to have the sound effect. It's like F yeah. I had that
from
like
Team America
playing constantly. Over and over again. And then the second question I wanted to end the episode on, I totally forgot what it was. You said something that got me thinking about. Man, that'd be a really good topic. No, it's not even about. I know what it is. So, I mean, the Kobe is, I think, more historical than anything. I think the only reason why we're going to have competition to get that shoe is because retailers understand Kobe Bryant fans will pay money for Kobe Bryant things, so they'll buy it to flip it. But just looking at like the Jordan market, the general Jordan market, not the Travis Scott one, Lowe's, just the general stuff out there has, for the most part, evened out. It's not very aggressive.
Shh, don't tell them
anymore.
Though.
Some things still are.
Don't jinx us.
You don't have to tell everybody, but I personally think that it's going to be a little bit smoother than like if this shoe released, right after Kobe's death.
Yeah.
It's going to be pretty smooth. But I mean, Nike Kobe stuff is still mad expensive. Like Protros, at least in my size, are like still $600 for like a Kobe 5 Protro.
I mean, like the pair I have, like the All-Star, those are, I mean, still way too much for what that shoe is, but some of it's going to coming down a little bit. Like Kobe 1s and Kobe 6s that aren't Grinches are coming down a bit, but all the 5s are still outrageously expensive for some reason. But just, I don't know. I'm in the same kind of school of thought as you, though, Robbie. I don't think this shoe's coming out on the 21st. I don't think either of them are. I mean, if they do, I'd be really surprised because there's nothing on any, like, I got that one release schedule, but there's nothing about the Kobe 1. I'm going to keep my eye open tomorrow, which is going to be 21st after we record this. But
yeah, it's very interesting. I don't care when it drops. Just let us know clearly. Retailers, adidas, whoever's telling me, let us know clearly because I will be buying. You can has my money. You can has it. You can't have it. You can has it. But, that's all we really wanted to get to today. A little bit of Iverson talk, a little bit of Kobe talk. Always a fun conversation. I smell my starting five coming up soon. Probably both of these athletes, maybe Adidas and Nike, Kobe, and maybe my starting five of Allen Iverson shoes with Reebok. So listeners, tune in later for that. But Mike, where can they find fresh reviews of shoes like those questions you showed us earlier?
Yeah, man. You can find these fresh reviews at YouTube at Mike Guillory. You can find me on Instagram and Twitter at MadWatcher789. Of course, you can always find me here with my partner in crime, the other two homies as well, Nick and Rod, who couldn't make it today. But I was at Sneaker History, man.
Always and always. You can find me at RAHBEE702 and also Sneaker History. Thanks so much, you fine listener, for tuning in, and have a great rest of your day. Peace out.
See you, everybody.